Stress is a state of mental tension and worry that is caused by problems in one's life, as defined by the Merriam-Webster Dictionary. In a person's everyday life, there are several problems that will cause stress. These include education, the family relationships, unemployment, non-performing employees, cancellation of a valuable contract, and several other different occurrences. Note that what would cause stress in one person does not necessarily stress other people, and might not even register in their minds. However, one thing that people have in common is the adverse effects of stress. Did you know that the human being is prone to faster aging as a result of continued stress? Stress and aging. Yes, when you hold to too much stress, you are reducing your youthful years, and therefore you will age faster than you would if you avoided this stress. This is a special way that stress manifests in the human body, and it is common for all people. According to scientific studies, there are several effects of stress that leads to faster aging in human beings. These scientific studies date back to the early 19th century, and have been carried out in different situations. The recent study carried out in 2012 on Finnish men and women showed the effects of stress on the cell's biological age, and therefore linked stress to the reduction of a person's life. Stress and aging continued. Therefore, people need to learn how to avoid stressful lifestyle, and also how to reduce the effects of this stress that denies them more youthful years. But first, before we look at how this can be achieved, it would be important to analyze the effects of stress that lead to faster aging. Through this, you will be able to learn how allowing a situation to control your thoughts will affect your well-being, and subsequently lead you to age faster than you would have. So, how does stress accelerate aging in human beings? Let's find out. Continued stress leads to cellular aging, the effects of stress on telomere. Did you know that stress has serious implications on your cell biology? The human being has body cells that are fundamental building blocks for the body's well-being. Each day, there are cells that are becoming worn out, and others are created. This cellular activity continues in life, and also leads to aging in some ways. Growth and replication of body cells is a cyclic process that occurs in two different phases. The first phase is interphase, which is when the cell grows and replicates DNA while preparing for the cell division. Then we have the second phase, which is mitosis, and this is the actual division of cells into daughter cells. Stress can lead to cellular senescence, where normal cells cease to divide, and also has an extended role in biological processes that are responsible for the development, tissue repair, aging, and age-related disorders. Stress has adverse effects on cellular senescence and affects the telomere. Basically, accumulated stress leads to shortening of the telomere, which are very important parts of the chromosomes. Each of the cell's chromosomes has the telomeres on each end, and they play three key roles. First, they are critical in organizing each of the body's 46 chromosomes in the nucleus of the cells. Secondly, they are responsible for protecting the chromosomes by acting as caps, preventing chromosomes from sticking to each other. And lastly, the telomeres are important because they allow chromosome replication during cell division. When an individual faces exposure to chronic stressors, these will result in sustained physiological stress, which in turn leads to negative impact on the telomere biological setup. Essentially, the accumulated stress in your body affects the telomeres through making them become shorter. When the telomeres become shorter, these critical roles can no longer be performed normally, and therefore it means the division of the cell doesn't occur as it should. Eventually, the cells will die, affecting the performance of organs that they support. The adverse effect is that the individual will start aging faster than would be the case without stress. This is due to the death of the cells, also referred to as programmed cell death, or apoptosis. To back this up, scientists carried out a study on the telomeres, focusing on how stress affects them. The experimental research on the animal models, and also the epidemiological research that was carried out in human beings, indicated that physiological stress response leads to shortening of the telomeres. These studies are the closest scientists have got in understanding the direct correlation between stress and aging. However, there are other health effects of stress that leads to accelerated aging. Anticipation of stress will lead to cellular aging. Not just the actual stressful moments themselves will lead to aging. Even anticipation of these stressful moments is enough of a factor that could lead to accelerated aging. This is because the anticipation affects cell aging in the same way as I've just been describing. A study that was carried out by UC San Francisco suggested that when a human being has that anticipation of stress, it increases the person's risk of age-related diseases. A number of women who were caregivers were selected for the study, and were told that they would be involved in public speaking and solving mathematical problems. The study revealed that for those women who were disturbed by the anticipation of the stressful activities, exhibited more signs of cellular aging. Stress leads to brain aging. When a person is facing a stressful moment, there are three main body parts that are involved in how you respond to the stress. These are the hypothalamus, the pituitary, and the adrenal glands. The first two, hypothalamus and the pituitary, are in your brain. When your brain senses a stressful moment, it sends an alert to the adrenal glands in your kidneys, asking for the release of adrenaline. The adrenaline leads to an increase in the glucose, and increased heart rate, leading to increased blood pressure. The brain will ask the hypothalamus to send a signal to the pituitary gland for the release of factors that lead to a stress hormone called cortisol. These are responsible for controlling the blood sugar levels and pressure to avoid a possible danger. That illustration shows the brain's role when a person is facing a stressful moment. When this stress is prolonged, raised levels of cortisol factors leads to a decrease in the number of brain cells, and therefore this affects your memory. A study that was carried out on rats indicated that increased levels of rat cortisol leads to the damaging of brain cells. The effect is adverse on the hippocampus, which is the brain's area that is responsible for episodic memory, remembering past events. When your brain cells die, you are prone to accelerated aging. Therefore, it is important for human beings to avoid stress, which leads to the aging of the brain. Stress leads to loss of vision and hearing. The loss of vision and hearing are associated with old age. Your eyes are a direct window into your soul, as they are the only organ in the body through which the smallest blood vessels can be seen. During stress, the body will undergo a situation that leads to high blood pressure, as illustrated when I covered how stress affects the brain. Therefore, when an optometrist looks at the blood vessels on the person's eyes, a swelling or even a burst is indicative of high blood pressure. When this high blood pressure is continued for a long time, it leads to blurred vision, or even floaters. Other effects of stress that affects the eyes include soreness, or twitching of the eyelids. Prolonged stress can also affect the hearing of a person. This is because the excess adrenaline leads to a decrease, or even stops the circulation in the inner ear. This leads to a gradual loss of hearing over time. Stress also leads to risky behavior, which leads to accelerated aging. Apart from the cellular aging, the effects on the brain, and also hearing and vision, stress can drive a person to sudden behavior changes. In most cases, this could lead to negative behavior, or a risky lifestyle. This includes poor dietary behaviors, less exercising, excessive alcohol consumption, and drug abuse. These habits have a negative effect on the body's organs, and results directly to accelerate aging. It is a known fact that developing unhealthy habits will lead to accelerated aging. Based on what we have just discussed regarding the effect of stress on aging, the takeaway is that people should learn how to avoid stress as much as possible. Avoiding stress is an important factor that will contribute to a more youthful look, and also a prolonged life. Therefore, we can conclude that cultivating a less stressful lifestyle is critical to healthy aging. This is important for persons of all ages. Note that even the baby that was born last night is already in the aging cycle, and therefore needs to avoid stress to live longer. How to reduce stress as we age. You don't need science to tell you that you are more stressed than your grandparents. It is something that you can feel and see when you look in the mirror. If you are often feeling tired and less energetic than you should, you are probably suffering effects of chronic stress. So, what are some of the ways you can reduce stress as you age? Well, let's now focus on stress avoidance in the lifestyle of people. Make good sleep a priority. It is important that you have enough sleep every day for the brain to refresh. If you don't sleep well, the ability to contain stress is compromised. It is by catching enough sleep that you are able to regenerate the energy levels so that you can perform well the following day. It is important to note that when you don't perform well at your job, it is one of the problems likely to cause stress. Imagine getting multiple warning letters from your bosses because of poor performance. Enough sleep every night is a good factor that contributes to positive contributions at your workplace, because you are able to fight stress that leads to non-performance. When a person realizes signs of stress, the secret to avoiding it can be getting a good sleep, so that your brain kicks into a conservation mode, making you better prepared to face the situation. There are several factors that could be leading to poor sleeping habits. These should be avoided, and if need be, seeing a doctor will also be helpful. To sleep better, you need to avoid stimulants before going to bed. You also need to make sure you have eaten well before going to bed, and as much as it will be possible, maintain a routine in your sleep. Learn to share problems you face with important people. The life stress will be fought better if you share the situations with friends. If it is a job-related situation, you can share with colleagues, and if it is a family-related issue, your friends can help too. A problem shared is half solved. The moment you share a nervous issue with a close friend, you feel you have released the issue, and this is a better way to manage the situation. When you share, this person provides psychological support, and also helps to find a solution. As you discuss the issue, you begin to realize why it should not even be bothering you. You are also likely to learn from the person how they have handled a similar situation in their life, leading to stress-free living. You need to choose wisely with whom you share your problems. This is because there are people who will generally make you feel more stressed. These are people who, instead of helping to craft a solution, take a back seat and watch you as you suffer alone. Therefore, the people who have an interest in your success should be the first person to share the situation with. Your best colleague, the favorite person from your family, and also the supportive friends who stop at nothing to see you are okay, should be the first priority. Maintain a balanced, healthy diet. The diet and nutrition choice is critical, as it can lead to high or lower stress levels. There are certain foods that are essential to reducing stress, and hence providing comfort. This is through increasing the levels of hormones that are essential for fighting stress. There are also beverages that are known to activate the stress-fighting hormones, which should be part of your diet. For instance, tea is a good caffeine supplier in the body, which leads to short-time rise in your blood pressure and the amino acids that are important in relieving the nervous system. Carbohydrates are also important, since they help increase levels of serotonin in your body. This is important because it boosts a person's mood, and hence a natural way to reduce stress. When your body gets more levels of serotonin, then if you were experiencing stress, you will have a better cognitive function, making you concentrate and work better. However, it is critical that a proper choice of carbohydrates is made, to avoid feeding on unhealthy food, that leads to other effects, such as excess weight in the body. Limit the fat-laden carbohydrates, or the calorie-dense toppings that are bad for the body. Regular exercising will help control stress. Indulging in daily workouts is also a good way of reducing stress as we age. Physical exercises help your brain shake off the stress and gain mental health, which is critical for proper decision making. The exercising helps the body to produce chemicals, known as endorphins, which are also referred to as a natural painkiller. There are various exercises that are known to be good for the production of these chemicals. Also, your body will be able to generate them through massage therapy, breathing deeply, acupuncture, and also meditation. Choose a good exercising facility in your area, and make sure you maintain a regular schedule. This is important so that the body gets used to the routine, every day, and hence responds well to the exercises. Scientific studies have also shown that people indulging in aerobics have decreased overall tension. They elevate and stabilize their moods, have improved self-esteem, and enjoy a better sleep. These exercises are very important in keeping stress away as people age, and therefore should be part of the lifestyle. Make sure you adopt a daily workout plan that is suitable, not only for stress reduction, but also physical fitness. This can be a daily 5-minute aerobics workout, or even a 20-minute aerobics workout every evening after work. People who have adopted such a lifestyle have also shown improved performance at work. Therefore, make it a priority every morning and evening, and join a health fitness club near you, where you can get these services. Create regular breaks in your work schedules to allow you to hang out with friends and relatives. As much as you want success in your business, it is also critical to realize that this success is not possible without a healthy body. Furthermore, why would you prioritize success at the expense of well-being and accelerated aging? You will enjoy the success if you have a longer life. Therefore, have some breaks between your work schedules so that you can relax and enjoy the fruits of your labor. This is not only important because it is a way to appreciate yourself, but also because your brain gets a chance to relax and re-energize. When you take a break from work, you are able to focus on other important aspects, such as improving your family relationships, and hence a better family life. Family situations could also be a source of happiness, which helps in relieving the stress. You need to ensure that you balance your work life well, so that you are not always overworked, thus leading to stress. See a counselor when you feel stressed. Apart from sharing with friends, you also need to make sure that you have a professional counselor who you can talk to when you feel stressed. There are several things you will learn from an experienced counselor, including how to make sure that the perceived or anticipated stressful moment does not occur. Therefore, identify a professional near you, who can help you handle those stressful moments. For organizations, it is important to have a professional counselor, speaking to your employees regularly, to make sure they are always in a healthy condition, so that they can work and perform as expected. These are some of the ways in which people can be able to avoid stress, to make sure they don't age faster than normal. Stress has been identified as a very serious condition that affects several situations and not only aging. Therefore, these practices will help you in more than one positive way.